address some serious issues happening in our community. And as an organization, we're also extremely proud to be invited to be part of Global Entrepreneurship Week. Please join me in giving a huge thank you to Cameron and the staff here at the Carson Center, who I know week-long programs is it's a lot, especially in a city that needs this type of work. So that work that he has been doing is not only revolutionary in many different regards, but really speaks to the need to really start to cement the ecosystem of entrepreneurship here in our region. We're gonna have a two-part discussion, and hopefully we'll stay within time. The first one, we're really gonna go ahead and address ecosystem building for Hispanics here in the region. And then we'll dive into our LevelUp program that we have in partnership with Sacramento State. And that will be moderated by my colleague, Anna. But let me just give you a little bit of a sense of what we've been doing here at the Chamber. I started my careers in the Chambers of Commerce about 11 years ago. When my parents asked me, why is it that you're going to the Chamber of Commerce? I said, because it's needed. There is a huge crack within the ecosystem of economic development in our state, in where we're 40% of the population, yet the ones who are at the bottom of the barrel when it comes to income inequality. And so I understood that while a lot of my friends were going to politics, education, and social issues, I went the community and business side. I'm not a Republican, no offense to those who are, but there was a huge need in this side of the spectrum of things. And after 11 years, I'm still firm in my decision of continue this work. And I'm so happy to see a lot of folks doing great work in our region. So without that saying, my name is Juan Novello. I'm the Vice President for the Sacramento Hispanic Chamber of Commerce. My boss wishes that she was here, but she's in Palm Springs celebrating her birthday. And a much needed vacation. We at the team decided and forced her to actually go away for a week. Not only because throughout pandemic and the last 10 years of the organization, she has been at the helm of it. It wasn't until about 3 years ago that I actually came back to this organization. And I looked at her and I said, I don't know how you do this. And she was doing it by herself. So without that saying, let me bring up the panelists for the first panel, Mr. Oscar Garcia with the SBDC and the Sacramento Hispanic Chamber of Commerce. Where is Gina? Gina, come on up, please. Any seat, and you can take a mic. I'm not going to do a lot of talking, and for those of you who know me, I can do a lot. But I'm just going to go ahead and start with both of them. Could you please introduce yourselves and the type of work that you do?
Ladies first.
Thank you so much. My name is Gina Lujan, and I am the founding executive director and principal of Hacker Lab. And if you don't know what Hacker Lab is, we are an innovation and entrepreneurship space, primarily a maker space, but we focus on all things entrepreneurship, really highly focused on the creative economy and technology. And I've been doing this since 2012. I'm approaching my 12th year, and yeah, that's what I do. Thank you.
Good morning, everybody. My name is Oscar Garcia. I'm the Senior Vice President of the California Hispanic Chambers of Commerce, and I'm here today as the Director of the Small Business Development Center, which is a center for small businesses. And I'm here to support Juan and the Sacramento Hispanic Chambers of Commerce, and also to share information that is very valuable to you.
For Oscar, could you tell us a little bit about the work that you're doing over at the SBTC Center, especially in the Programa Hispano, the type of programs and services that are available for folks?
Yes, thank you. We, as a center, as the California Hispanic, Business Center, we created this first and unique program. It's called Programa Hispano, that has been recognized statewide and nationwide for the things that we do. This program serves to small businesses, whether you are an entrepreneur that just barely don't even know, you just want to start your business, don't have any idea what it will take like, we have programming for you. The businesses who are already in functioning and how to manage the business better and also growth and expansion as well. This program is extremely focused on growth and expansion and also on your success. We have assisted over 3,000 businesses throughout the Northern California. My center runs covers from San Joaquin to Oregon border and from San Francisco to Nevada. So our program is cohort style on some of them, they're webinars, and we have a 10 weeks certificate program that covers all those aspects for your business plan, market analysis, market research, implementation, or cost analysis, which is a great thing right now. If you started a business or have a business, cost analysis is extremely important because you need to know what is the cost of doing business. With transportation, with everything, we get down to the nitty gritty with you. We have over approximately 18 business consultants specialized in human resources, labor law, QuickBooks, bookkeeping, taxes, risk management, and of course, the business development part of it as well. So I want to stop right there because I want to give a chance to Gina to also share what she has.
Sure, Gina, go ahead. How do you support our folks here locally?
So primarily, thank you so much. Primarily, we focus on supporting people who want to learn. So most of the people that come into our space either are in the creative business or want to start a business. So we have a facility that has numerous tools, everything from printers to 3D printers, sticker printers, sublimation printers, CNC, woodworking, laser cutters, 3D. They say 3D printers. We just have an array of tools, and within those tools we have classes. So we teach everybody how to use those tools so they can either build their business or they can use those tools for their marketing collateral. And then on top of that, we have wraparound services. So we have several different programs. So some of our programs we have a Makers program which started around the pandemic. The Makers program is primarily focused towards women of color who are around the lower income of the HUD guidelines, as far as right at that edge of where you're in between, you're either lower income or you're middle class. And so we primarily focus on all around holistic wellness. So their holistic wellness, their finance, their marketing, their branding. We do one-on-one small business consultation, various different things. So everything that you need to do to run your business at the very seed level, at the very beginning stages, you can come to us and we can help support you. And then we actually send people off to resources like the SBDC or Metro Chamber or the Hispanic Chamber so they can expand their business and grow on a larger scale.
Thank you both. And I don't know if you know this, but there has been a few folks who I have admired and really look up to once I moved to Sacramento. These are two of them. When it came to anything capacity building programs supporting small businesses, this man in Sacramento is an institution. And now that he's doing it at a greater scale, it's just tremendous. And when you talk about Hacker Lab and the work that Gina has been doing for years and how she disrupted a whole new ecosystem here in the region, it's just amazing. And I was having that conversation with Brendan earlier. There's times where as a business owner, you may feel alone. In reality, in Sacramento, you're never alone. You can reach out to any of us at the chamber. You can reach out to a lot of them too, whether you're starting, you plan to grow, you just got really stuck. You have folks who are here to support you in that regard. And again, that goes into the ecosystem building of what we do. And I know we have a few folks that we're going to meet later on this afternoon, later on in the next part of this discussion. But could you share like one story or success story of a business who had gone through your program?
Yeah, we have a lot of success stories. But one of them that is really, really to my heart is all of you guys know Top of the World on J Street in 21st, right? The story of this man is Marcos Murillo. He came from Mexico about when he was in his 20s. For 20 years, he worked at this restaurant. I started as a dishwasher, then he started as a prep cook, and he became this chef. So he educated himself to become a chef. Um, Prior to the pandemic, he had the opportunity to buy the restaurant. What better opportunity? This is his dream to own his own restaurant, right? So, needless to say, he went to conventional banking and he was turned down about 4 times from banking because he didn't have, number one, they said, you are a cook. You don't know how to manage a business. You don't have experience. You never had managed a bar either. And you need to create your own corporation, blah, 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 this and this and that. So anyways, so his wife, who speaks English, she heard about our programs and she contacted me and says, I need to set up an appointment with you because my husband is Mexican and you know how Mexican men are. You know, we're very persistent. We get angry if we didn't tell us no, and we want to know why and this and that. So anyway, so they came to my center. I had a meeting with them, and I'm going to make it short. It took us about 18 months to work very, very diligent to the point that we helped them structure their business, create a corporation, because there was an issue with the name, and we had to be very creative because they said, no, you can buy the business, but not the name. Well, the name had the reputation, right? So you can't change just like that. So there are many parts involved on this thing. So after being turned down 4 times, the SBDC, our center, the Programa Hispano, were able to really make them fundable. We didn't cheat, we didn't do anything. It's a lot of creativity and a lot of hands-on and also a lot of budgeting because they wanted to see, the banks wanted to see, well, how is this person who doesn't have any experience managing a restaurant is going to buy it? See, so we ended up utilizing all of our resources. But one of the things that happened, so he bought the restaurant. So go see him, tell him, hey, Marcos, Oscar told me to come over and see you and treat me well. So, and he will. He's very passionate. And this is what happened. And this is how you can all benefit from it. What made the loan happen was the fact that the SBDC was able to support him with all the aspects of business management, QuickBooks, hiring, human resources, labor law, see, compliance, because we work with a lot of organizations, and I'm one of the organizations that, or the persons basically, I can pick up the phone and get the IRS right now for a business question. How many of you can do that? You're gonna wait 5 days, 3 days, whatever, you're number 599, right? With me, they will answer. So that's the leverage that you can use. And this program, in collaboration with the Sacramento Hispanic Chambers of Commerce, Hacker Lab, the Carlson Center, we don't compete for businesses. We are here for you. This is your team. This is your resources. If you're thinking about starting a business, I mean, just come and talk to one of us, and there's no wrong door. If I don't have the answer, maybe Gina has the answer, maybe Juan has the answer. I don't have the resources, somebody else has them. But most likely, you will always end up with someone that can help you. The only thing that we ask, I guess, all of us, is to follow up on it. Don't just leave it there. We have assisted over 3,000, 4,000 businesses throughout the Northern California. And not only that, we have clients from Southern California. And through the pandemic, this is very big. That's how we became nationally recognized, because through the pandemic, we were the first responders of businesses, to the point that we had people logging in from Spain, Chile, Argentina, because business development, it is the same principle. What changes is the implementation and the execution of that. So you have a lot of experts, you have a lot of resources, and you want to be a success story, or you have a business that has been successful, talk to me. We have a newsletter that goes out and we promote successes.
Thank you. Top of the World, if you haven't been, please go check them out. I don't guarantee a discount, but at least if you gave his name, they will treat you well. They're always amazing. They're always amazing. How about you, Gina?
I too, we have so many there's countless stories, and I think that's why we do it, because the stories and the impact that we have, and we get to. My passion is to watch people pursue their passions. So it's a wonderful thing, and I can attest to the first responders. I did that for a year and a half with the SBDC as part of the Northern California team, and we worked our butts off, and it was really, really fun, and it was great. And a lot of sad stories, but it was very inspiring work to do. Again, like I actually thought about this like all night, like what is my favorite story? I don't have a favorite story, but I do have a story that kind of tells like how you can go through the process of our space. And at one point in time, we were partnered with Sierra College. So we had a location in Rockland. And at that time, we had a father and son who came into our space. He had two sons, and they started using our CNC machine to make skateboards. And it was really cool because they were starting their own skateboard company, and it was really awesome. And the CNC is a really hard machine to learn, and the boys learned it. And so the father got really, really excited about all the tools and equipment. And he came up with an idea to build this invention that he had. And he created every single part at our space with the CNC and with all our tools and equipment. And he was able to have his test, basically his test product that he was able to kind of test in the market and send it out. And what it was is it was a spectrometer, what that had the ability to measure CNC in food. And it was really just a huge deal at the beginning of when the industry was really becoming legal. And so it was a hit. And he started getting contracts with talking to hospitals, talking to law enforcement, talking to education systems, so people can kind of start realizing, like, just every medical field, it was crazy. And he got so busy that he started hiring students from Sierra College to help him with marketing, with engineering, with having to do the website, just to do everything. So he went from like this small office in our space, and he basically took up a quarter of our building upstairs. So he just kept moving and expanding, and the wall just kept moving. And it was really great. It was wonderful to watch. It was wonderful to see all the students coming into our facility from campus. And he ended up being on the cover of High Times magazine, which is really awesome. And I actually use CBD for my own medicinal purposes. And I went to buy a machine recently that helps you infuse oils with CBD. And as a bonus, you can buy his product. So it's like a national product. And I actually I was a consumer, because here I am ordering this different machine, and as a complimentary machine, you can buy his. And it was just a wonderful testament to what we do. And it was wonderful to see his story. It's wonderful to see his success. And yeah, that's what makes me thrive. And I look forward to hearing more stories. So thank you.
Thank you, Gina. And it's that type of stories, the ones that we always use to really start changing the narrative about Latinos in our communities, in our communities. Those success stories are positive impacts in our communities. And those who are not that success stories, or that are becoming success, those are the opportunities that we have to ensure that we continue to build that ecosystem that will turn them into success stories. My last questions to you both. What do you think is needed to continue to build a stronger ecosystem, not only for Hispanics, small businesses, but for minority-owned businesses in our region?
Well, for me, I think that the infrastructure and the resources, it's already in place. See, we just need to probably promote a little bit better for all of us, including myself, going down to the community more often. In the past, for the last 11 years, probably, Hispanics are moving forward, minorities are moving forward with business development. Okay, the ecosystem, it's there. We need to enhance it by bringing more relevant information. And that's what we have, resources. Because what is it that we have? All minorities, we know how to work. Everybody knows how to work. not only just minorities, everybody, if any entrepreneur, any business owner is busy making money, is busy trying to find clients and customers and making deadlines and finishing the job. They don't have time to go back to school, a lot of them, and get educated. That's what we have available. I think that we need to bring more to the community more often than every quarter or every 6 months and so forth. It has to be a revolving type of education. And here you have a certificate program on business development. I have a cohort also in business development. The Sacramento Hispanic Chamber of Commerce, they have a cohort of business development. And like I said, all we need to do, even if you go to one program today and then you finish it and go to the next program, you finish it and go to the next program, you finish it, because that's an investment. And I think that's when we need to, as organizations, to build and strengthen the ecosystem that's already there, is to promote the value of everything. Because to you, these are your tax dollars. My program is funded by the federal money and the state money. So these are your taxes at work. You're not going to use them to grow your business? You should, if you haven't. If you haven't seen our program, you haven't attended, but I'm pretty sure I see some familiar faces that have been to our program. So I encourage you to go ahead and get in touch with us, because we can enhance and we cannot make it better if we don't have your input. We can think about it right here. We can all do things, and it will not do us any good if we create great programming and big dreams if we don't have you. You have to be part of it to enhance the ecosystem, because you are, and we are here thanks to you. That is the only reason why we exist, because of you. And if you don't use us, well, guess what? We are not relevant. But right now, I would suggest and I will encourage every one of you to take a closer look. Either you have a business, this is the time to grow. This is what you do to your strategic planning, because 2024, regardless of what they say, I know there is a proverb say that it says, when there is a disaster, there's an opportunity. Right now, there's about 1,500 businesses that haven't been open in Sacramento. They're shut down. They cannot open. Who's going to fill that void? Who's going to fill that business needs, the customers' needs? Maybe it's you, but utilize us. And I think that forums like this, I think it's much needed, and I hope we can enhance it that way and take the lead on that.
We're getting there. Gina, keep it real, please.
Yeah, for me, it was a lessons during the pandemic. I've been running Hacker Lab for quite a long time, and I started noticing we had some events that were happening in our space, and the people that were coming to my events, they were my sister's events. I started noticing that I started asking them questions about our space. I was like, "What do you think about our space?" And they were like, "Oh my God, we love it. I love it. I love it. So cool." But I would never see myself here. And that really hit me like kind of hard. I was like, oh my goodness, and so I started kind of asking more questions. And during the pandemic, I started the Makers program, and I was really intentional. And I think this is what it comes down to, is intentionality. And because of the questions I was asking, I went into the Makers program with intention of serving women of color. And everything down from our marketing to our language to how our team was built was intentional. And when I had to downsize and move and restart and relook at how I'm going to run our new space, I had to be very intentional on what I wanted it to look like. And so, our team leadership is predominantly women. It's all women of color. And our space is curated for people of color. And this is the most diverse. I have about 90% people of color in my space now, as opposed to less than half before. And I think it just really comes down to being very intentional on what messages we're putting out there, who we're reaching out to, everything down to the language that we use and the photographs we use. I mean, you have to be extremely intentional in bringing people of color, people from different Latin people, African-American people. If that's your audience, we have to be very, very intentional. And it's really proven to be a good direction for us. And I'm excited. I'm so excited. It feels so great to be in our space because I've never had that before. And I talk about it all the time. It's a pure joy for us. So I really believe that intentionality is extremely important. And I think the Hispanic Chamber and their small business programs are a perfect example of being intentional of their audience and who they're serving. And the numbers that come out of that program, I was on the foundation board for a very short time, literally brought me to tears because of their intentionality. They were able to help hundreds and hundreds of people walking door to door to their specific audience during the pandemic. And it was a beautiful thing. So I just feel we just need to be more intentional.
Thank you. And if you haven't been to her space, please do so. She gives an amazing quick tour and her staff is amazing. For those of you guys who are prepping for Thanksgiving and for the holidays, gifts, in my humble opinion, it's always better to support small businesses. And there's a lot of great options from stickers, from ornaments. She's amazing. And the folks that are incubated in that space, it's just phenomenal. And I live not too far away from it. It just has been, you can see the change in that neighborhood. And again, it's one of those great opportunities and it's available to us. I want to open it up for one question out of the audience just to make sure that I'm respectful of the next panel. Does anybody have a question for either Gina or, go ahead.
Yes, hi. Thanks for being here. My name is Alfredo Sanchez. This one's directed to Oscar. You had mentioned that 1,500 businesses are shut down in Sacramento. Can you tell me since when is it we're talking about during the pandemic? And then if you know, just out of curiosity, what percentage are Hispanic owned, please?
Well, the report came from the annual Sacramento review thing. It didn't specify whether we're Hispanic or not. I don't know the percentage. There was after the pandemic. After the pandemic, we were closed and people trying to reopen. And this is the reason why, and especially if it's a restaurant. The restaurant, once you close and it's there closed for a little while, if you want to reopen it, you have to go through the whole inspections again. So if it's an old restaurant that had violations, so they were not up to code, guess what? It didn't pass, one. Another one, because of the pandemic, a lot of people fell behind on their bills, so the credit went down. But this is another thing that we are advocating on the chamber side up in the Capitol to easy up on the guidelines of lending. Access to capital, that's another issue for a lot of people, and that's the reason why.
And if I can add to that, especially here in Sacramento and by law, when it comes to a lot of the reporting, when it comes to a lot of the numbers, it's really difficult to not only get a solid number, but when it comes to doing that, then segregation by specific demographics is even tougher. It's something that we're working with our folks over at the city and the county, because ultimately we're just throwing darts at nothing rather than really have the numbers that can allow us to make those decisions in a way that, again, they're more intentional and that allow us to really shape our ecosystem in a way that really helps those who actually need us. So please join me in giving a round of applause, please. And then we have my colleague Anna and our lovely success stories also coming up here. The work that we've been doing in partnership with the Carson Center has been intentional, has been about ecosystem building. We didn't just want to have another program be part of our portfolio at work. We really wanted to ensure that we will go out to the communities, figure out what the right partner was, and making sure that we continue to build that ecosystem. Please, Anna, come on board. Our next panelist, please. You can just leave it here if you don't want to hold it. You can put that in your lapel. Whenever you're ready, just turn that up. Turn that up. And I have one question. We're going until like 10:30.
Yeah.
You want to close it up?
Yeah, I'll do questions and then.
Just close it up. That way I don't have to come back because we're running behind on time.
choosing by folks to follow us on, social media, and then to join the next events. And that's it. Thank Cameron and the team.
Good morning, everyone. Everybody hear me okay? I've never used one of these, so we're good. Before I start singing, I'm just kidding. Well, good morning. My name is Ana Padilla Marquez. I'm the Director of Marketing and Communications for the Sacramento Hispanic Chamber of Commerce. Been doing this role for a little bit over a year and a half, and I love everything about what we do, everything about what I do, especially working and highlighting the success stories of our small businesses here in Sacramento. Thank you, Carlson Center, for celebrating and hosting a week such as this so that we can hear about panels and businesses and learn more and get excited and just be here to support our small business community. So I'm excited to be talking about the LevelUp program, which is a program we do in partnership with Carlson Center, which helps our small businesses revamp, grow, and create a more robust and successful business plan. In our panel, we have Silvia Rodriguez from Gondo Fusion, Dashina Payne from Caged, Maria Harrington from Casa de Español, and Trong Nguyen from Homebrewer Lab. So if you can help me give them a warm welcome, and then we'll go into the So I will have you guys introduce yourselves, your business, and a little bit about your experience with the LevelUp program.
Hi, my name is Silvia Rodriguez. I am the founder of Gondo Fusion. I have a background in hospitality, and I have a passion for creativity and food. I grew up around two cultures, and that's why I created Gondo Fusion. It's a Cuban and Mexican fusion cuisine. We started as a food truck. We are expanding here behind Sac State in the line kitchens. And we are looking forward to expand in the Sacramento area as a restaurant.
Silvia, can you tell us, before you hand it off, tell us a little bit about your experience in completing the LevelUp program.
A couple years ago, I was stuck in my journey as a food truck, and I didn't know where to go, how to find resources, and I reached out to the Sacramento Hispanic Chamber of Commerce, and they helped me to get into LevelUp program, and that's how I started to learn more about how to, from an idea to a successful business, I could get all this information and create a successful business.
Thank you, Silvia.
Hi, I'm Dashina Payne, Chief Vision Officer and founder at Cage. I'm an applied engineer and I have the skills to build robots. And I created the moisturizing oil comb that saves time, money, and delivers a spa-like experience while simplifying the process of delivering hair oil precisely to the roots and scalp, minus the mess. And it cuts down our process from 2 hours to 30 minutes. I started my business in 2021. I got a new role, so I had to stop for a whole year. And then I revamped in 2023. I did a pitch competition because I wanted to get my name and business and idea out there. And I met Cameron Law, and since then, it's just been amazing. Like, I have many resources to tap into. And basically, from the LevelUp program, I learned how to start a business and what is needed to be a successful business. And I have a list to share with you guys because I'm very informative. And I want to get all that information out so we all can be successful.
Thank you.
My name is Maria Harrington. I'm the owner and director of Casa de Español, Center for Language and Culture. We offer classes, Spanish classes to kids, teens, and adults. We also do many different cultural events here in Sacramento, and we are going to be offering our travel program again starting in 2024, 2025. So we're really excited about starting that back up from after the pandemic. Casa de Español, our goal is always to be bridging the cultural differences here in Sacramento and now in the world. Since our virtual program, we have students from all around the United States as well as in other parts of in other countries. So we're really excited about doing those kinds of cultural events to be able to give people that opportunity to celebrate our wonderful culture as well as our language. I think it was during the pandemic that I reached out to the Hispanic Chamber, and I was looking for a class and a program that worked specifically with people who already had businesses. Something that Oscar said of like, you can go back and maybe get your MBA and go through a whole program, or you could do a certification that's specific to the need that you're looking for. And that's what I was looking for. I wanted something that was specific to my business, and that's what I found with this program.
Thank you, Maria.
Hi, my name is Trong Nguyen. Some of you may have known about my work. The one that started LevelUp Bakery and Cafe in Sacramento. And of course, I was a scientist, and I got into that business because I had to support my refugee from Vietnam, my Vietnamese refugee brothers to have something to do. So I started bakery, gave them something to do. And of course, the business took off. So I stuck with it for over 30 years. And I retired in 2018. And I want to do something. I got bored. I want to do something fun again. So I have a product and business idea. I have some always an inventor. So I have some tool that I want to invent. So I was a 70-year-old startup guy, so I want to learn it from scratch. So I got connected with Cameron and with Carson Center. So I joined the LevelUp program. So I want to really learn this time. I want to learn business the right way, you see. So I took this class, and through this process, they would teach me how to do customer discovery and traditional business. The long and short of it, my product, because of that process, evolved into many other side products. So, and I introduced the product, and it become really successful. I sell that product worldwide as a component. Basically, this is a component for people to make beer at home, the fast way, the easy way, the better way. So in that space, I have 3 products that are the best in the world because those products are sold around the world. And now I package those 3 products together so it's a complete kit so people can brew beer at home in their own kitchen. I plan to use this product. Think of it like is the Instapot of beer brewing. Think of it like a air fryer of home brewing. And we will make home brewing the new home kitchen. So I was talking with Anna this morning. It's really exciting. And I heard yesterday I was on a panel talking about expanding internationally. So we are expanding. Since we already sold through dealers around the world, so we expand on Amazon Canada. The next step is Amazon Mexico, and then after that, the Amazon UK, because they have it exporting and shipping and so on and so forth easily. But I said that international business, there is another kind of opportunity when I heard today that the ethnic market, our product would be so great for the Hispanic community because Hispanic people are family oriented. They like to make things at home. And if they make beer, or it doesn't have to be alcoholic, you can make root beer. You can make hard cider, you make soft cider, you can make beer, you make wine, you make kimchi, whatever. With my product, you can make everything. And when you make your own thing, you learn, you can share what you make, you can learn. It's very educational. You learn about the science and the taste and so on and so forth. So I'm so excited. I'm just like this morning, discover a new business and a new partner. And I talked with Anna, so I'm going to show her how to do it at home. And right?
And then I'm going to be selling my beers.
Okay. Thank you.
Thank you, Tron. How exciting. How exciting of all these businesses. Thank you to this LevelUp program for revamping and revisioning the direction of your business. I have, Condo Fusion, I've tasted your food. Maria Harrington, I've been, part of your programs and attended a lot of your events. And Tron, I'm excited to try the brewing kit. I will give you guys my sincere review. But for those of us who don't know what type of sessions we find in these LevelUp programs, and this is open to anyone who would like to answer, what are those type of sessions we get to learn from and hear? How did these sessions really help your business?
I think for me, it was 3 parts. The simplification. I think that a lot of times as a business owner, other than the fact that you're in the business and you're working on the business, a lot of times you make things too convoluted. And so the simplification of the lean canvas that we worked on really was something that hit home and was really, it made it a lot easier for us to look at our vision for the next 3 to 5 years, as well as how to share that vision with our team members, so that way they could also engage with it, love it, and then be our representatives to make it happen within for our clients, for our, we call it our familia at Casa, as well as our larger community. So definitely simplification, also the networking of being able to be with other business owners and the trials and tribulations of what that is, as well as feeling part of their successes as we went through the program. And finally, the mentorship, having someone critiquing who is an expert on what you're wanting to do and getting that feedback. So it's not just you kind of looking at it, but having someone else looking at it from a larger scale, as well as the partnerships within the classes of other business owners looking and saying, oh, that's a great idea, or what did you think about this? Or I have someone that I can connect you to that, that might be able to help you or be part of some kind of partnership with you.
So for me, I knew nothing about how to build a business, and participating in the LevelUp, here are a list of things that I've learned and has gotten me this far. You guys ready? Here we go.
Take notes.
Okay, so the Blue Ocean Strategy example. What makes a great leader? Creating a culture of innovation. The entrepreneur mindset, had no idea about that. Reflection jobs to be done. And that's like what your product needs to do in order to get the job done. Let's see one more. We have unfair advantages and go-to-market plan. Nothing about that. And then supply chain partners and more. So these are all the things that I knew nothing about, and now I know everything about them because of LevelUp.
Thank you for sharing with us. Sylvia, Tron, either of you would like to tap in?
Well, like all Mexicans, we always say, I know how to make a salsa and I'm gonna open a business. And so that's how we started like 10 years ago. And we didn't know anything about business. Once I started LevelUp, now I can say we learned about everything that you mentioned. I learned about the lean canvas, the being a great leader, and how to talk to you guys and explain my vision about culture. And I'm very grateful for the Hispanic Chamber of Commerce and LevelUp program and the Carson Center in Cameron, that he's been my mentor ever since. And I've been growing and growing, so I'm so happy for that and grateful for all of you guys.
Well, actually, when I took the class from the Carson Center, it turned out that a lot of things that I learned in that class I already been doing for years, but I didn't know how to associate it, label them correctly. But specifically, I learned how to do a pitch, 1 minute pitch, 2 minute pitch. And my favorite thing is customer discovery, how to find out what the customer need and create a product that satisfies that need. And the best part that I love is the unfair advantage. It turned out that because when you make the best product in that field, in that space, you have tremendous unfair advantage. And I think what make my product successful is that the unfair advantages that I have built into my product. And so I think any of you guys ever want to learn anything about business, doesn't matter whether you're a retired guy like me or you start from scratch, LevelUp is where you should at least spend 10 weeks.
Thank you, Tron. Isn't this exciting? You know, the sessions, the level up, it excites me. I just went to college. I took a course over the COVID of getting my master's in marketing. But this business level courses, I think that is so exciting. I get to work with a lot of small businesses, and you know, just hearing about the topics of these sessions that you mentioned, Shane, I think that's just even fascinating for those of us in the audience who have a business and who really want to enhance and grow. This partnership that we do with the Carlson Center is fascinating. And my last question I want to ask to our panel here is, how has this ecosystem that we've built for you guys, these programs that we do, the Level Up program and whatnot, how has this really helped target your business dream and your business goal?
Okay, well, I didn't know where to go from or how to go from a food truck into any location or renting or leasing a restaurant. I didn't know anything. And so all the ecosystem, the resources, the connections that this program gave me, it's giving me the opportunity to start with at the Line Kitchen and putting my name out and making this happen. Right now, I'm gonna say it. I'm one of the finalists for the Calling of Dreamers, and that in this level of program helped me to have all the knowledge that I needed to be in that other program that I'm right now. And now I'm focusing on building a restaurant, a bigger restaurant with a bar. And so that's how this ecosystem helped me.
Thank you, Sylvia, and congratulations.
Because of this community, I was able to be the recipient of over 20,000 in grants, scholarships, and awards.
Ooh.
And also, thank you. And also, because of the community, I know for a fact that my business is going to be successful because I know the problem, I have a solution, I know my customer base, and I know that the community is going to help me be successful in each and every way.
I mean, definitely echoing what they've just said, but for me, the biggest thing is the partnership. I think it's part of our culture as, at least in my family in Mexico, to be part of a collaboration. And we don't ever see this as like competition, I'm going to kill my competition. We see it as, how are we going to work together so we all thrive? And I think that is like the vision of the Hispanic Chamber here in Sacramento. And every single time I reach out to them or they reach out to me, it's how can we work together so that more people have the opportunities to be successful as well as, you know, happy. Like, how do we all make each other happy in the sense that we're celebrating, we're working together, we're going for our dreams, and we're working together for that. And I think that's why Sacramento is special, and why, as a business owner, I'm really, really happy that I ended up doing business here in Sacramento, because wherever I am, I always feel apoyada, supported.
Thank you, Maria.
Well, I want to tell you how beneficial it is, how impactful it is to be part of this ecosystem. This is a live example. Today, because I'm here, I discovered a new huge market for my product, that is the Hispanic community in Sacramento, in California, and in South America, because I now realize that I don't, beside expanding to Europe or Asia, I have this huge market, and I can almost guarantee you that this segment of the market will probably generate at least $1 million a year in revenue, additional revenue from us, because it's really a perfect market for what we do. That's a live example, right?
Yeah. Thank you, Tron.
Yeah.
Ecosystem, that's what it is. Maria hit the nail on the head. It's the partnerships that we do, collaborating, working together. You know, that's what really helps build up our economy and our small businesses and whatnot. So thank you, everybody, for sharing your vision. I do want to open up the floor for questions. Do ask, take advantage of asking questions. We have a panel of fantastic business leaders in our community. And if you're curious, if you want to know a little bit more about how to push your business to the next level, or just any question that you have, ask away.
Hey, I'm Alfredo Sanchez. This one's directed to Trump for your new invention. What's the timeline? Where are you in the invention stage, and what's the timeline when you'll be released?
We actually are 3 components in the beer making field that we are very successful around the world. Now we add the 4th component, which is the pot, where we can incorporate our 3 tools to this pot, and that pot basically is a pressure cooker. We customize a pressure cooker to the lid of the pressure cooker to turn it into a fermenter and a server and a brewer. So we plan my prototype right now in Japan. I already have many products that I built in Sacramento, and one of which is Anna gonna get it next week. But the prototype is actually the real product that come from that part is made in China, that in Japan right now. I should get it next Tuesday. So I plan to have, so if any of you were interested to play with this is, we plan to launch this product commercial in early 2024. But because you're in Sacramento, and because you know me, you have an opportunity to play with it. You can contact me, and I basically will loan you a product, a set to brew beer at home, or brew whatever. It doesn't have to be beer, whatever you want to brew, kimchi or hot cider or whatever. You can brew it. The only thing is you have to buy your own ingredient. And after you're done with it, you can return everything back to me. Or you write me a check, and I give you a real new set for you to keep. Cool?
Exciting. Thank you, John.
Yeah.
Do we have questions? Yes?
So Sean, what was Blackford, the other lady that makes the device, what was your timeline as far as development to getting to where it would produce products you could actually sell it? How long did it take?
Well, let me stop it and I pass on. I'm actually, we have the product. I have the product now. It's readily launched, officially launched in early 2024. And you could be.
So for the new one, but the 3 products, so you came back to this in 2018. How
Right.
long did it take you to develop a sellable product that you got to market?
For me, it took about 6 months. Yeah, and I'm actually selling quite a bit of it. I'm doing quite well with it. And actually version 2.0, some of them are 2.0 and some of them are 2.1. So they're mature products. And those 3 products will go to the pot of brew.
Ma'am, and you?
Oh,
Trisha,
me,
yeah?
Deshina?
Yeah, sorry, the names are bad for me, I'm sorry.
So right now, we're at the MVP stage, and we want to have our MVP and the final product out by the first quarter of 2024. So 3 months from now.
Thank you. Any more questions? Yes? Well,
I have a question on short topic mechanical engineering. I think I was an undergraduate in senior project, maybe this is around 2003 or 4. Professor Zoe might have had you come speak to our class about a product you developed that led into something you did with LevelUp. Am I remembering correctly? Can you
Yeah.
speak about that?
Yeah, I have given a lot of talk from, there was one day that really interesting. I gave a talk early in the morning. I gave a talk to the elementary school down the street from where my office. And that evening, I gave a talk to the UC Davis graduate school. Like in one day, I gave a talk, different subject. But
It might have been in grad school. I think you had a product that you were doing something with hot chocolate or something?
yes, I have, I inventing in restaurant business, you have to make the chocolate sauce to put in cafe latte, right? And it's really hard to make chocolate because the chocolate powder, you put hot milk and then you stir this thing and you don't know because you don't see how well it's mixed. And then when you start using this, it's lumpy down there. So I create a tool adopted from a KitchenAid mixer, would build a special paddle that it can perfectly mix chocolate in like 2 minutes. And so, and we use that in LevelUp to make the naturally blended chocolate sauce. But I also have, so some of you may be curious, what the heck this guy make that are so well loved around the world. I mean, kind of fun when you make a product that people around the world buy from you and write glorious things about you and discover on YouTube this morning somebody wrote something nice thing about. So I have it here. So if you want to go and see what it looks like, you come up afterward.
Thank you for sharing. I believe there is a question in the back. Yes?
Well, first of all, thank you for sharing all your experiences. My question is related about how to work with your team in an early stage. Usually when you're starting like a venture, like you and your co-founders are like in different activities. So I don't know if you have an advice that you, or something that you learned in that stage, or that you're still learning about like how to like keep working with your team and like not lose like sight.
Yeah, so that's always a big question, I think, for business owners, because there's three parts of the business, right? You're working in the business if you are part of it. So I'm a teacher by trade. So I teach most of the in-person classes. So about 40 hours of my week is in the classroom or making lesson plans. On top of that, I'm working as the admin. And so about 20 hours, maybe 15 to 20 hours a week is on admin, training my team, making sure that they feel comfortable, that they feel part of the business, they know our vision, what we're doing. And then on top of that, then when we have our events in the summer, then we'll see what happens. For that, it depends. So any given week, we're working way over our regular time, but then we're telling our team, take breaks, make sure that you're keeping yourself safe. Don't do more than 40 hours, when they see us and we're doing way more than that. So I think the biggest thing for me is recognizing what kind of a leader I am. I am not the type of person that will be on people 24/7. I'm not a micromanager. I don't like to be like that. And so when I pick team members and I'm training them, I'm looking for people who don't need that kind of management. They are self-driven people who can do it on their own. Whereas I know other people who are more direct and they like to be micromanagers and they like to tell, at 6 o'clock, you're going to be doing this. At 6:30, you're going to be doing this. And some work environments need that. And so I think knowing what type of leader you are, so that way you can pick the proper people who will work with you or under you, whatever your type of management is really key. And knowing your limitations as a leader, so that way you can also pick team members who complement what you do and how you work, so you're not at ends. Another thing I like to do is bring people on from like assistant, like starting them at the assistant level, so that way I see their capabilities and I know how I can position them. As a business owner, a small business owner, you don't have tons of money to be able to have different people doing this job and this job and this job. We all kind of work together and do a lot of different things. And so being able to find people who work in my environment of multitasking and things like that is really important. So if I bring them in at an assistant level or at an entry level, and I see where I can put them later versus trying to hire at the top where I'm spending a lot more money and then maybe they don't work out. And so I try and do that. So I'm training them from down up.
Good advice, Maria. Would anybody else in the panel like to answer that?
Oh, I can add to that. So with my team, I am the visionary. I have an executor and also a connector and a technology guru. And also I bring on interns, unpaid at this time because I am a startup. I would love to pay them eventually, and I outsource work too. But yeah, as long as everybody is on the same wavelength of getting what you need done easily, quickly, and without the drama, then that's the way to go when working with your team.
Great question. Tron, Sylvia, do you know?
Well, Maria said it all. We are small businesses, and I have to run the truck, and I'm in charge of the staff in the kitchen. I do the logistics for the truck. I'm the cashier in the truck. If you want to ever see me and find me, I am there taking care of people. So we do it all. And so we try to find people, like Maria said, that they're smart, they can do everything, and we don't have to micromanage. And so we can have our time with our families because we also are moms and we have kids and we have a husband. And so, yeah, that's how we try to manage all this small business.
Well, I work on the opposite side. After 30 years or so running a big organization with sometime over 500 employees, I decide this time I want to do something different. I want to work basically with people remotely, and thanks to the internet that didn't exist 30 years ago. So right now, basically, we do everything at home. We actually register our home as a business license for our home, and we produce everything at home. And we design products using talent in the United States or talent overseas, and then we use the 3D printer to make the prototype, and then we send it out to make molding, manufacture the part, in Vietnam, in China, and we explore opportunity in India, in Thailand, and their product made and shipped to this country, and then we assemble here, basically in our kitchen and our home and our garage, and we ship it because most of our products are pretty small right now. They ship in a little box like this. So I don't have employees right now in Sacramento, but I have a team of people around the world. The only downside about that is like your work hours, like almost 24 hours because of the time frame. I stay up late 2, 3 o'clock at night because the people in Asia time they're different. The people in Australia is different. But it's really, really exciting. And I use talent, a lot of geek workers like Fivers and Upworks to do a lot of my work.
Thank you for sharing your input, and that's a really good question. We do have room for one more question if anybody would like to ask away. Yes, Cameron?
What can we as a community do to help you all level up to the next stage?
Well, for me, keep us in your ecosystem. I learn new things every day. Every time I come here. Actually, I was thinking another thing that I learned today, that there's a little group of store down there, and I wonder whether I can set up a little shop, teach people and get the students how to brew beer in their dorm room. Sorry.
Drink beer.
Always hustle. You're a salesman.
Very smart.
Well, 2 parts. Number 1, access to capital, which is also something that Oscar said. Randomly, I found myself in an SBDC program with SCORE. Randomly, they took me on and they put me like under their wing, and they said, you should get a loan when we transition from J Street to R Street. And I said, no, I don't want to get a loan because then there's interest and there's all these other problems. They said, no, we'll make it easy for you. And they walked me through the process. Then the pandemic hit, and it was because of that original small loan that we were able to get the process for all of the different things that were available. And the big banks wouldn't even have touched us. And most people didn't get, they didn't get a lot of help initially because you had to already have been part of those programs to even get through the door. And that really saved us through the pandemic to not have to let go any of our employees. We kept them all on during the pandemic. So definitely access to capital is my number one, and education in both Spanish and English and all the different languages as much as possible. And then two, I would really love you to teach a workshop on how to work more on your business versus in your business, because I cannot separate it. Like, I love what I do, and it's really hard for me to step away from what I do, but I know I have to. And so finding that balance.
My ask is that if you have an Instagram account, to follow us on Instagram, to follow our journey as we continue to grow. My handler is Cage, CAGED_LLC. And also we are looking for capital to continue the development of our MVP and final product, and to cover legal fees, marketing, all that good stuff. So we're looking for 200K. Thank you.
For me, I think I'll say capital too, and also human resources and employee retention. I think this is part of what we're going through all the restaurants and all of the industry right now in Sacramento. Employee retention is a big thing right now for us.
Well, let's add more to the sessions. Well, thank you. Thank you, first of all, everyone, for being here and listening to our amazing panels that we had both earlier and now. And thank you so much, panelists, for contributing your input and your insight. And I do invite you to support these businesses. Do follow them on their social media, their website, attend their location where they're at, get a homebrewer kit or whatnot. So let's give them a round of applause. We do have pan dulce available if you guys would like to take one for the road. And we could stick around if you guys have any questions. Thank you.
Thank you. No, I'm so excited to listen to the fellow that's talking. It's a huge market.
There really is.
And you're really fitting. It's really appropriate. It's perfect for that market, Mexican family, Hispanic family, good family origin. They like to do a lot of things. They drink a lot of beer. And if they can make their own beer, they can share, they enjoy. This is much fun. And they save a lot of money. Yeah. So you will